At one point, he asked all the men in the audience to raise their hand and asked them if he would wait to have sex till marriage with the woman that he wants to marry. And I think he said about 90% of the men raised their hand. And then when he asked the women, did they believe it? Majority of them said no, they don't believe that the man would do it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Janicia, and someone requested me to do this video about will men wait until marriage to have sex? And my answer is yes. One, because that happened with me and my husband, we wait until marriage to have sex, but also because men have confessed this. Now, women will often fight men on this. They will say, yeah, that's what you say, but that's not what you're gonna do. And I want women to kind of understand that men will take what you give them. So I want women to be less defensive about what they feel like they see with their eyes and understand what they're saying underneath. Like, I don't think women understand how much power we hold. There is no procreation, there is no having sex, there is no having children if the woman does not say yes. Outside of being forced, if the woman does not agree to lay down with a man cannot lay down with a woman. So you don't know how much of a say-so that you have in this fight. A lot of women give it up because they believe that a man will not wait for them. Now I'm gonna give you 3 reasons of why women feel like men will not wait, and I'm gonna tell you really why that's not true. If they didn't think it was so hard, I think a lot of women secretly would love to wait until marriage to have sex, right? It's kind of like a fairy tale, like, oh my gosh, on our wedding night, it's gonna be our first time. Like, I think the little princessy part of a woman would love for that to happen, but they don't feel like that could be a reality. Part of that is the type of men that they meet. There is a group of men who are not ready for marriage. And because they're not ready for marriage, they also sleep around. So if you have come in contact or met a man or dated a man who is just a hornball, he may not act like a hornball, but he's not finna wait until marriage because that's not where he is in his life. Like, marriage is not of value to him at this time. So waiting until marriage is like, what we waiting on? Let's just do the do. It doesn't make sense to their minds is what I'm saying. So that man is off the checklist. So if you believe men will not wait until marriage, maybe you came across a man who is just a hornball, who is not interested in marriage. You can go ahead and take him off the list. Go ahead and end that right there. It's not gonna work. And so because the loudest, most vocal people in society are the people who just be up to no good, right? So all the hornballs, all the people who cheat on they partners, all the baby daddies who got multiple baby mamas, they're the ones that every woman sees. And so they'd be like, of course a man is not gonna wait until marriage because he got 7 kids. He not waiting until marriage because he wouldn't have 7 kids. Your mind is going to all these men in society who cannot keep their thing in their pants. And so that also warps the mind of a woman believing that a man will not wait until marriage. The second reason of why women believe that men will not wait until marriage is because he doesn't see you as his wife. Now, Tony Gaskins really helped me to understand this part because it's like I kind of knew this, but it made a lot of sense when he explained it. If you don't know Tony Gaskins, he's a big time influencer and he works with a lot of couples, single people, whatever. And he is a man himself and he understands men. And he would travel and put on these events talking to men. And at one point, he asked all the men in the audience to raise their hand and asked them if he would wait to have sex till marriage with the woman that he wants to marry. And I think he said about 90% of the men raised their hand. And then when he asked the women, did they believe it? Majority of them said no, they don't believe that the man would do it. Now, there's a disconnect. Men are saying, I will wait till marriage to have sex. And the women be like, we don't believe you. He was explaining that men will wait for the woman that he sees as his wife. And it clicked so good in my head because I'm like, there are a lot of men who can be a hornball, okay? There are a lot of men who can sow his royal oats all over the place, and then he meets that one woman And whatever she says goes, because he wants her that bad. He wants her to be his wife that bad. She is unlike any woman he has ever met. She challenges him. She makes him a better man. She holds him accountable. She is just like none other, and he has to be with her. So if she says no sex until a marriage, that's what it's gonna be, because he's not finna lose her, and she is worth it. And I've seen this with my own eyes. A man will wait. It may not be his most favorite thing to do. It may not be something that he's like, yeah, we're waiting, the same way a woman would be thinking about it, but it's worth it to him. And most likely, if he's gonna wait till marriage to have sex, best believe that relationship is gonna move pretty quickly, right? He's not finna waste 2, 3, 4, 5 years of your life not having sex. This relationship is gonna move along because he already met you and already identified you as his wife. He just gonna make it happen. It's no more wasting time. Not so he can rush you have sex with you, but what's the point? He already figured out. Men know very quickly, in less than 6 months, if they want to marry a woman. It does not take him a whole lifetime to see the value in the person that he's with. So if you do not believe that men will wait until marriage to have sex, most likely it's because the guy that you're dealing with, the guy that you have dealt with in the past, the guy that you have seen in other relationships, he does not view that woman or you as his wife. Now, I know that sounds pretty harsh, right? It doesn't feel good, right? But it's a good thing. And I'm going to tell you why. It's a good thing because now you know what you need to do. You cannot waste your time being in a relationship with a man whose intention is not to marry you. If you out here just dating around just to go on dates and get free food, this is not really a conversation for you. I'm not really talking to you. But if you're actually dating for intention, you believe that God has a man for you and you desire to be married, you're not obsessing about it, you're not idolizing it. You just have a desire to be married, to be a wife, to be a mother, all those things, right? You want to know that the man that you love and would like to spend the rest of your life with also sees you the same way. It's no point of dating a man, falling head over heels for a man that just sees you as a placeholder. That has to be the biggest ever. That's a waste of time. So if a man tells you no, it's okay because it gives you free reign to move along. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye. A lot more women need to be a little more cutthroat about that. We're cutthroat and everything else. He got to have 6 figures and whatever. But as far as him not meeting your values and your morals, we get loosey-goosey with our lists and our standards. No, if that is your value, if that is a promise that you made, a commitment that you want to hold, if the man is not going to hold up to that commitment and be in it with you, then he's just letting you know it's not going to work. But if he flat out tells you no, he is not waiting until marriage to have sex, then you know what to do. I'm not talking about y'all fell into temptation or y'all both agreed to wait or whatever, and then one night it gets all steamy and something happens or about to happen. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about a man verbally out his mouth communicating to you that he does not see you as valuable enough to restrain from having sex until he puts a ring on your finger. I'm talking about that situation. So when women come into contact with, number one, hornballs, men who do not want to get married, so they're not going to wait, men who do not see you as his wife, so he's not going to put himself through that, I guess, and wait for you, that forms in women's heads that men do not wait. Now, the third reason why women believe that men will not wait until marriage is because he tried you. Now, I need women to understand that men test. They test people, they test things, they test objects, they test jobs. They're risk takers. They like to try people. I don't know if you ever been around little boys, little children, male children, and you tell them no, and they look at you and still proceed to do it, looking at you. They like to try you, right? They like to see how far they can go. Can they actually get away with this? What men need is discipline. What men need is to be put in some type of order and line. When I have a son, I know that he's going to need a lot of order and discipline. It's just the nature of a man. If you let him have free reign and go wild, he's going to have free reign and he's going to go wild. A woman can pretty much be told no, and she kind of can get the point sometimes. Not all women. I'm not a feminist out here, okay? Because men are different than women. I don't believe men and women are equal at all. Because they're different in their nature, they need parameters, they need borders, they need boundaries, they need guidelines, they need rules, they need laws, they need restrictions. Because if not, they're gonna try something and they're gonna do it. You commit a crime, you go into jail. A lot of men probably would like to commit a crime, but they're not because they don't want to go to jail. A lot of men, they don't do a lot of things because they cannot do a lot of things because of the repercussions of doing those things. So if you are with a man and he knows, or maybe not know, or just get the hint that you are not trying to have sex, he may and most likely will try you. He may put his hand on your thigh. He may go in a little heavier in the kissing with the tongue and everything. He may start massaging you and doing things. He may, try to go up your dress. A lot of men purposely try you. And I learned this from being around a lot of different men. Co-workers, fitness coaches, different men where I would just, I'm just engaging and talking. Like all my life I've been cool with dudes and they would just share stuff with me. And they would let me know like what tests they would put their girlfriends through. I'd be like, what you mean what tests you put her through? Like, why are you testing people? And we as women, we kind of believe what you say. So if you say you love me, then I believe you love me. They're more so, if you say you love me, I need to see that you love me. And so if you show and say that you are waiting until marriage to have sex, most likely he will test that. And he will see if you're really about that action, if you're really about what you said. Because there are many women who are all talk. They will say, I'm waiting until marriage to have sex. And the moment you rub that thigh, they get weak in the knees and they drop them draws. Let's say if a man he's an attractive man, he doesn't have a problem with women, right? He doesn't have a problem getting women. Let's say in his lifetime, before he meets you, before it's time for him to get married, he has been or talked to 50 different women, okay? 50 different women. Let's say either from context clues or it actually happened, he was able to have sex with those 50 different women, or he could pick up that they would be down to have sex. Like maybe they didn't, but he was like, okay, she was flirting with me hard. I could get that real easy, right? 50 different women. And then he meets you, right? Now, maybe 30 of those 50 women was like, I'm not easy. You gonna have to work for this. I don't just have sex with anybody. Like, he's hearing this for years. I don't just have sex with anybody. I'm classy. I don't do that. Like, you gonna have to be in a relationship with me. Like, we need to be in a long-term relationship. Like, I'm just not opening my legs, whatever. He's hearing this. In whatever phrase it sounds like, he's hearing this. Women saying they're more reserved and they're not easy. And then he comes across you and you're number 51. Okay? I'm not talking about 51 people he slept with. It's 51 women that he picked up that it would be easily to sleep with. He meets you. Y'all get in, a little relationship, or y'all start talking. And then he picks up that you act like you're reserved too, or maybe you said you already told him you're waiting until marriage. That's another thing. I want to do a video about when to actually tell a man that you're celibate, absent, or whatever, if you ever. He picks up that you're reserved too, you're acting reserved, you're at least giving off that it's not easy for him to get you. And then he decides to see if you're just like those other 50 women. So he puts his hand on your thigh and he goes a little higher, right? And then you stop him and you push his hand away. And he's like, oh, okay, that's different. You didn't laugh it off and like, don't do that. You was like, no, thank you. I don't need your hand there. Please don't put your hand there. Or however you say it. It don't have to be aggressive. It could just be firm and like, that's not where your hand goes, right? When you turn him down, He could even come on a little more aggressive. Maybe the hug is a little more intimate. Maybe the kiss is a little bit more intimate. Whatever way that he may try you, right? He's not R-wording you. He's not taking advantage of you. He's just trying to see if he can get a little bit more intimate with you, right? Touch a little booty, grab it, something, you know, and you redirect it and just let him know that that's not okay. He is elated. He is like, oh my gosh, I have met 50 women. And to him, that's all the women in the world. That's a lot of women. I've met 50 women and 0% have turned me down. You are the first woman I have come in contact with that I am attracted to, that I really like, who has turned me down. You are different. I like you. You got standards. You got morals. You not out here spreading it ego for everybody. You really my wife. So what women have to understand by these 3 things that I talked about is you may commonly come in contact with men who are not interested in waiting until marriage to have sex. They don't want marriage. You may come in contact with men who say they're not waiting until marriage to have sex because they have not found the woman that he deems as his wife. He's not going to wait. And also a woman may have come in contact with a man who tried her. She believes that he's not willing to wait until marriage to have sex. So that forms the belief that a man will not wait. But I am telling you, I am living proof. I have seen it with my own eyes. I've heard other men say this. And if you get into male spaces, who are actually honest and intelligent, they will say the same. I'm not talking about the regular modern man. A man will wait until marriage to have sex if he wants marriage, if that is his goal, if he sees you as his wife, and you turn him down. Like, you have to tell him no. You have to put a restriction and a boundary. And of course, we would love to think in a good world that even Christian men will wait until marriage to have sex. A lot of Christian men be getting it on, as well as a lot of Christian women be getting it on, right? It's not that he doesn't value it. You may come across more women who are waiting than men, but it's not that he will not wait. In an ideal world, he will be the one putting up boundaries as well as you. And I've come across a lot of those men, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. But I also want to let you know that if you do meet a man, you can be the one to say, no, we are not doing this. I don't know what you did in your past. I don't know what you're cool with. But as for me, we ain't doing that. You can be the one to say no. I know it may feel like a lot of pressure. It may not feel like the holiest thing to say and be like, no, he's not the one because he'll wait too. He should wait. He will wait. But it may be you who declares that we're waiting. And once again, if he refuses to, then he's not the one. That's it for this video. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so because I would love to see you more often. And I'll see you later. Bye.